Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A man accused of killing his roommate shooting at San Antonio police officers. Up next, the identity revealed of the victim and what's next in the investigation.
4 children lost in the jungle for 40 days after a plane crash found alive. We're going to show you the new video of the rescue.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, 77 degrees out there now. How hot will it get this week? We're going to check in with Mike Osterhage in just a few moments. But for now, good morning. It is Monday. Happy June. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. So we're really starting to enter the heat of the summer.
Yes, we are.
Did you make it out and about this weekend?
I did, but what was so funny is talking to people who were out and about like, oh my goodness, it's so hot. I mean, you know, it's June. And then Mike gave us the warning.
Good job, Mike.
But it is still 5 degrees. I mean, yesterday we got up to 98, so 6 degrees above normal. So this is not normal for this time of year. Yeah. It is going to be an abnormal week because it's going to be staying just really, really high. Even, I mean, I was telling Max I was doing some yard work yesterday. 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going, it must be middle of the afternoon. But I mean, because it was that, you know, just oppressively hot. So that's the way it's going to be. And yep, we got a heat advisory that has been issued, goes into effect at 1 o'clock till 8 o'clock for our western and southern southwestern counties. And this is just the first of many heat advisories to come this week because temperatures are definitely going to be staying on the hot side. We'll have some of that humidity. We do have some clouds hanging around here, and there are a couple of, or at least one computer model that wants to keep some of these clouds hanging around a little bit longer into the morning, which would then put off some of the start of the warm up, I guess you'd say, so we wouldn't get quite as hot. So that's just maybe wishful thinking, but something definitely to keep in mind. Mid upper 70s right now. Normal low temperature is 73 degrees. We got a ton of humidity out there. 74, 75 for dew points. That's fog up your glasses when you walk outside. And yes, in some places we do have a bit of a heat index to deal with right now. 84 Castroville, 83 at Stinson, and throughout the rest of today, 97. So I think a couple extra clouds hanging around here keeps us, we're still 5 above normal. We'll still have heat index readings well up into the hundreds, and especially to the south and to the southwest. But we put off hitting 100, at least for now, but it is in the forecast. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Max.
Thank you, Mike. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office has identified a man who was killed by his roommate, who also fired at officers. Now, the victim was identified as 61-year-old Gregory Visman, and according to the ME's office, Visman died of multiple gunshot wounds. Officers were called out to an apartment on Raybon Drive on Friday morning after the suspect called someone and confessed to killing Visman. Now, police say when they arrived at the scene, that suspect fired shots at officers for nearly 30 minutes. Officers were eventually able to enter that apartment and found Visman's body. Police say the suspect committed suicide.
In your morning headlines, former President Donald Trump escalating efforts to stop the criminal case against him. The former president scheduled in federal court this week on federal felony charges, accusing him of illegally hoarding classified information. Trump's court appearance tomorrow in Miami will mark his second time in just 2 months facing a judge on criminal charges. The Justice Department's first prosecution of a former president concerns conduct that prosecutors say jeopardized our national security. Former president is expected to head to Miami today after his court appearance. He's going to return to New Jersey, where he's scheduled for a press event to publicly respond to the charges.
An elevated section of Interstate 95 collapsed over the weekend in Philadelphia after a tanker truck carrying flammable cargo caught fire. That incident has now closed a heavily traveled segment of the East Coast Main North-South Highway indefinitely. Transportation officials warned of extensive delays and street closures and have urged drivers to avoid that area. Officials say the tanker contained a petroleum product. They may have been hundreds of gallons of gasoline. The fire took about an hour to get under control. Governor Josh Shapiro plans to issue a disaster declaration today to speed federal funds. Officials say there was no immediate time frame for reopening that highway.
And lava could be seen spouting up inside Hawaii's Koloa volcano last night. So Koloa, Hawaii's second largest volcano, it started erupting Wednesday after a 3-month pause. Take a look at your screen. It is amazing to see. Last week, Hawaii tourism officials urged tourists to be careful when headed to the national park on the Big Island. A lot of people trying to get a glimpse of the latest eruption of one of the world's most active volcanoes. Tourism authorities are urging mindfulness when planning to visit the area. Now to that amazing survival story out of Colombia. 4 kids found alive after being lost in the jungle for 40 days after a plane crash.
New video has surfaced from their rescue, and as ABC's Derek Dennis reports, while the children are recovering at a hospital, some are already doing a lot better.
This morning, a helicopter rescue that's almost unbelievable. 4 young children found together and alive, surviving 2 miracles in one. First, a deadly plane crash, then 40 days wandering alone in the Amazon jungle.
Este es un milagro de Dios.
Manuel Ranoque, the father of 2 of the children, saying the children are recovering well, giving thanks for the care they're receiving at a military hospital in Bogota, Colombia, and for their lives. The children, ages 13, 9, 4, and a 1-year-old, who are also indigenous, recovered in the dense, wild Amazon rainforest after a month and 10 days on their own. A plane crash killing their mother and 2 other adults, including the pilot. Search teams finding the plane, but not the children, who were also on board. Small footprints and half-eaten fruit giving rescuers clues to their path. Then a recording of their grandmother was used, telling them to stay put.
I imagine in that rainforest, they would have had torrential downpours and then issues with getting food, with clean water. I think there was someone in their family that gave them some traditional knowledge. And I think that's what saved them for the most part.
Turns out it was the 13-year-old who used her knowledge of the Amazon to keep them all alive and safe. The country's president visiting them in the hospital and tweeting a photo of the rescue, writing Esperanza, hope. Doctors say the children could stay hospitalized for 2 to 3 weeks while they regain their strength. Their story of survival and their rescue captivating Colombia and the world. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Really is just an amazing story.
I know, I'm glad they're okay.
Absolutely. Time now, 4:37, 77 degrees.
And just ahead, why the presumed #1 NBA draft pick for the Spurs isn't doing so well overseas right now.
All right. Well, let's calm down. Let's not, disparage him before he's even a Spur. Plus, speaking of the finals, if the Denver Nuggets win the NBA Finals tonight, we'll tell you what they'll have in common with our San Antonio Spurs.
And let's take a quick look at the roads with TransGuide, looking over at Loop 410. Now at Highway 281 at Bassey, where, things are pretty good at 4:37 a.m.
Still, it's always surprising when I see the traffic cam and I'm like, oh, there are people on the roads this early. This is fantastic. All right, taking a live look out there. Oof, summer heat, it is real. It is here in South Texas, and it's only going to get warmer. We're going to check in with Mike in just a few moments. Good morning and welcome back. All right, Victor Wembanyama, the presumed #1 overall pick in the NBA draft later this month. I'm not going to say he struggled a little bit. You know who was struggling? The announcers in this finals, because they could use a little, emphasis. That's fine. Let's take a look at the finals. So these are the LMB Pro A finals. In 27 minutes, Wemby had 8 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 7 boards, 2 assists. The top-seeded Monaco beat his team, Metropolitans 92, 87-64. They just have one game in the series. Remember, like the USA, France has a series. Wemby had a bad game in part because Monaco is the top seed for a reason. The average player is 32 years old. Almost every starter has NBA experience. Wemby and his guys, they're going to look to even the series in Game 2. It's a best-of-5 championship. Game 2 later today, 1:30 p.m. local time. And all I got to say is I hope our announcers in America are better than those in France. Later on tonight, the Denver Nuggets could win their first NBA championship since joining the NBA from the ABA decades ago. If they do win, the Nuggets and the Spurs will be the only former ABA teams to win the NBA Finals. Besides Nikola Jokic, 6-year point guard, Jamal Murray, they're having a phenomenal series against Miami. The Joker averaging 30.8 points, 13.5 rebounds, 8 assists per game, and that's just in the finals. Big stage, big players show up big. Murray right there with them, though, averaging more than 23 points, more than 5 boards, 10.5 assists. So they're both doing pretty well. And take a look. Here's the schedule for the final week of the NBA playoffs. Game 5 tonight, 7:30 in Denver. Game 6, if necessary, Thursday night in Miami. Game 7 back in Denver, home court advantage. All games, here's my favorite part, all games right here on KSAT 12. All right, we got basketball, but we also got baseball. A great week for the Missions at the Wolf, fighting for the top spot in their division in the Texas League. Entering the series finale yesterday, San Antonio's won 4-5 games against Wichita. The biggest key to the 5-3 victory, taking on the wind surge, was the Missions bullpen. Pitched 4 2/3 scoreless innings between 4 pitchers, securing the W yesterday. Also, bark in the park day at Wolf. San Antonio found themselves down in the 9th inning, 8-5, bottom 2. Look at this, 2 strikes. Juan Fernandez on first. Ray Patrick did her, hitting the homer. Left field over the wall, and it is a 1-run game. That's as close as it would get, though. Here's the final. Wichita finally getting that win. 8-7, winning only 2 games of the 6-game series. San Antonio remains in first place in the South Division. Pretty solid record, 31-26. San Antonio averaged 11 hits per game in the series, taking on Wichita. However, San Antonio 1-7 this season when playing on Sundays. Interesting little correlation there. All right, so Missions hitting the road, taking on Amarillo. 6-game series starting tomorrow. The Missions will be back at the Wolf starting June 20th. And the first half of the season is Sunday, June 25th. Here we go. Steph's dancing along to the music. We all should. Time for some super regional action. Texas Stanford taking on each other. Game 2 this weekend. Horns stage a 9th inning comeback to win. First 9th inning comeback victory since 2009. Bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 Stanford. Jared Thomas triple. Mitchell Daly home. That ties the game at 1. Horns would take the lead in the 3rd, and it's 2-1 Texas. Stanford, though, would come back to tie the game at 2, top of the 4th. Then in the 5th inning, Malcolm Moore, runner on first, hit it a double left field. Braden Montgomery comes home. I'm trying to keep up with they're just doing so much work. Very next batter, Stanford, Drew Bowser, hit a left homer, gives Stanford a 5-2 lead. What a game it was. Stanford would go on to win 8-3. Game 3, though, tonight, 7 p.m.
Okay.
Go Horns.
Go Horns.
There you go. Especially against Stanford, because, who has a duck cardinal? It's a whole thing. Anyway,
Thanks, Max.
Go Spurs go. Still rooting for Wemby in the finals.
Yeah.
And finals right here on KSAT 12 tonight.
That's right.
444, 77 degrees.
If you need a summer job, there's always lifeguarding. Up next, why a nationwide shortage could mean less pool time for many swimmers this summer. And good morning. The time now is 4:47. A nationwide lifeguard shortage will force many public pools to close or reduce their hours this summer because of a lack of staff. ABC's Eva Pilgrim has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a nationwide shortage that threatens to derail fun in the sun.
There's not any serious people wanting to become lifeguards. They don't think that it's a job of prestige, and we need to bring that back.
The American Lifeguard Association saying about a third of the nation's public pools are struggling to find lifeguards. The issue started in 2020 during the COVID pandemic when many were forced to work from home and avoid public spaces.
And we used to rely on people coming out, enjoying the job and going back and telling other people about it, and they would come back. We missed a couple of years of that. So, fast forward to today, and there just isn't the interest.
Now, cities across the country are trying to entice possible lifeguards to sign on. And coming up at 7 a.m., what you need to know to keep your loved ones safe in the water. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
Look out there with TransGuide, kind of quiet. Here's a shot at Loop 410 at Ingram Road and now I-35 in Nogalitos. So things are moving. Good time to get your day started at 4:48.
I want to say, walking outside, it already feels hot.
It is. And that's the problem. Even yesterday we were talking about the air conditioning upstairs can't handle it. They're not designed when temperatures are into the hundreds. It can only cool things down so much. So, yeah, give your air conditioning actually a break every once in a while, I think, what the experts say, so it's not just running constantly. But back to traffic for a second. We were talking about this. Good news.
Oh, yes.
I had to take a little detour coming in instead of turning on Ashby onto St. Mary's. They are actually paving between Ashby and Dewey.
So if you watch GMSA Weekend Edition, we talked about how this is the final stage, but it's okay, Mike. I don't fault you for doing it.
Yes,
but
this is actually on today. So.
Okay. He lives it. He lives it.
Thanks, Mike.
I text them every weekend, don't I?
See?
I didn't get a text this weekend.
Really? Was your phone not on? Anyway, outside right now. Sorry, I didn't watch this weekend.
Just hurts.
Actually, beautiful sunset in Goliad. Absolutely great looking. A few extra clouds hanging around there. And we do have plenty of clouds hanging around in this picture as well. And as I'm saying off the top of the show, there is at least one computer model that has these sticking around a little bit longer into the morning hours, which would then delay the start of the real big warm-up period, and hopefully that would help out with high temperatures then later on this afternoon. As far as yesterday, a couple of spots did hit triple digits, 98 here in town, and I'm going for 97 today. Now, we will have triple digits off to the southwest, of course, Castroville at 100, and in your backyard, it may very well hit upper 90s, even close to 100. But again, out there at the airport, I'm going for a 97. We will keep plenty of clouds around this morning. Temperatures are going to be pretty steady all morning long. And then we make it all the way up to 89 degrees at noon. And we are going to be topping off, like I said, at 97 later on this afternoon with a lot of blazing sunshine out there. And then again, you got to factor in the humidity. And so that's going to put the heat index well up into the hundreds. All right. And we do have a lot higher humidity this morning. It does tend to drop somewhat in the afternoon, but still, I mean, it doesn't take much when you have those temperatures that are well up in the upper 90s. And this is the one computer model as go through the morning that keeps these clouds around a little bit longer, even in through late morning close to noon. Now, then it does clear things out, obviously, and we will heat up quite a bit, but if that does hold true, that we keep those clouds around a little bit later on into the morning, that will kind of just shave off a couple of degrees here and there later on this afternoon, but still going to feel extremely hot. Up right around 110 for heat index readings. Hondo, Uvalde 109, 111 Carrizo Springs, 113 in Cotulla, going for 105 here in town. And it's down to the southwest where we have the heat advisory posted today, and it is only going to be getting hotter over the next few days. And the low temperatures are also going to be staying. The normal low temperature right now is 73 degrees. We're going to be staying in the upper 70s throughout the rest of the weekend going into the weekend. Same numbers, different view. Hey, by the way, Wednesday, don't forget, is Flag Day. Showing the American flag, well, every day, but
yeah,
on the
especially
14th.
that day.
Also a special day in my house, but we'll talk about that Wednesday. And temperatures are only going to continue to get up to the low hundreds throughout the rest of the week going into the weekend.
I mean, it is June.
Right, but again, these numbers are
above normal.
Way above normal.
Okay, so quite a switch from below normal to above normal.
And as an professor in meteorology school, I said, Mother Nature likes to balance things out. So
here we
cool,
go.
a little warm.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Time now, 4:52, 77 degrees.
And are you ready for another Fast and Furious movie?
What number are we at now?
I lost
27.
Is it? It's got to be double digits, right?
Well, we'll tell you when the next one is coming out. Plus, the Transformers take over the box office.
Good morning and welcome back. So we've been talking about the heat. One way to beat the heat, the box office.
That's right. We did that.
Exactly. What'd you see?
On Saturday, we saw Spider-Man.
Perfect. Well, sadly, Spider-Man could not hold off the Transformer at the box office. Plus, another Fast and Furious film already in the works.
Right, number 11.
11. We had to look this up.
Yes, we
Research
did.
department.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Christopher Watson.
This is not our war. Transformers Rise of the Beasts won the Battle of the Blockbusters at the weekend box office. The seventh film in the franchise debuted with $60 million domestically, $170 million total when you add global earnings. That bumps Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse into the number 2 spot, but it's still a strong showing.
I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man.
Another $55.4 million for a 2-week global total of $390 million, making it Sony's highest-grossing animated release in history.
This is unbelievable.
Folks who saw Across the Spider-Verse this weekend saw a different film than last weekend's.
What's a guy got to do to join this Spider team?
Sony sent an updated version of the film to theaters late last week following audience complaints of poor sound mixing, making some dialogue difficult to hear. April 4th, 2025. That's the date star Vin Diesel says the 11th and next Fast and Furious film will hit theaters.
I was looking more single every single weekend.
And country star Chris Young turns 38 Monday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
I like how Vin Diesel says the next one's coming out in April, not the last one.
Just to clarify.
Lucky number 11. Love it. All right, time now, 77 degrees.
Donald Trump and his allies are escalating efforts to stop the criminal case against him. Up next, how the former president is getting ready for a federal court appearance this week.
Plus, how a local Amazon driver recovering after being shot while driving to work. We're going to have the latest on the story.
And a quick check of the roads with TransGuy looking over at Highway 281 at Basse. Everything's looking very good there. Also at Highway 281 at Loop 410. Stephen Cavazos is in the studio. We're going to check with him after the break.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Security preps are underway here in Miami, where former President Donald Trump is set to appear in federal court tomorrow. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with what he's telling supporters about his indictment and his third White House run.
And back here at home, taking a live look out at the Alamo City. 77 degrees, but it is going to jump up today and through the week. We're going to check in with Mike Osterhage in just a few moments. For now, good morning. Happy Monday. I'm here to normalize being happy on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
So, happy Monday.
Monday.
How was the weekend?
Weekend was good. Did my best to avoid the heat in the afternoon.
Nice.
What about you?
I just stayed in and watched TV. Actually, Mike Osterhage and I were talking about this show, Jury Duty. It's pretty fantastic.
On Amazon Prime. Yes,
Amazon
Prime. Just watch it. Very fun. 8 episodes. Not going to say anything about it yet, but it's a pretty good one. We kind of binged about 6 of them on Saturday. Anyway, indoors during the afternoon is the place to be. Even this morning, we're at 78 degrees, 5 above normal. Look at the bottom number there. Dew point 74. That's when it feels like a rainforest when you walk outside. We are going to make it up to 97 later on this afternoon, 5 degrees above normal. That doesn't even include the humidity. It's going to feel well up into the hundreds all over the place. The aquifer dropped down 0.4 of a foot, and the allergens, mold, and pigweed are all on the low side. So we have actually a bit of a heat index to deal with still this morning. It feels like 81 degrees out there at the airport, 83 in Castroville, 81 Stinson, as well as Hondo, and even 80 at Canyon Lake. And you can add pretty much about 20 plus degrees to those heat index readings, and that's what it will feel like later on this afternoon. Like I said, well up into the hundreds. And there are heat advisories issued going into effect at 1 o'clock up until 8 o'clock tonight for our western and southern counties, where heat index readings are going to be approaching 110, anywhere from above 105 really, but you get toward 110 and your body just can't really handle that heat all that well. 89 today at noon. I think we keep a couple of extra clouds hanging around here this morning, which is going to put off the inevitable, but slow down or delay the warming, the real extreme warming this morning. So that will keep us maybe down a degree compared to yesterday, but still very, very hot, and it's only going to get hotter the rest of the week. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, good morning, sir. What's going on?
Happy Monday, guys. Well, you know what? The morning commute is off to a pretty good start over here. Let's get a quick look around town. There's 281 at 410 if you have to head to the airport in the next few minutes. Nothing major is going to slow you down, but just be on the lookout. We do have a few folks out there. US 90 at Couples. Interesting shot there at 281 at San Pedro. A little bit of a closer shot than what we're normally used to seeing. So we'll find out what's going on there. See if we can get our friends at TransGuide on the phone. But other than that, our morning commute is off to a pretty good start, like I mentioned. So always good news for a Monday morning. Getting you to the map, though, what you're going to see a lot of is going to be a lot of that active construction. I did notice a little bit of a slowdown if you're traveling up from China Grove there. You see a little bit of yellow on our screen. That's never really a good sign, but it could be just some of that active construction that we tend to see in and around the Alamo City. Nothing major seems to be slowing folks down this early in the morning, though. If that journey along I-10 westbound should be about 31 minutes if you're heading in from Seguin, 33 along 87 northbound if you're traveling in from Lavernia. And right now for our friends down in Floresville should be about a 29-minute commute. So perfect time to take advantage of some tranquil roadways. 35 at San Marcos. Again, things are off to a very quiet start. We'll keep a close eye on things and have an update on more road closures coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. The Bexar County Medical Examiner has now identified a man who was shot and killed at a party on the west side this weekend. He is 41-year-old Mauricio Puente. And detectives say that Puente was arguing with the suspect in front of a home in the 7100 block of Shady Grove Drive off of Military Drive. Police say things escalated and the 23-year-old suspect took out a gun and shot Puente multiple times. Officers detained that suspect and no word yet on any charges.
And an 18-year-old man driving to work now recovering after being shot in the hand and the leg. So the man driving his usual route to his job at Amazon yesterday. That's what he says. Someone driving a sports car started speeding around him, tried to cut him off when both cars exited onto Highway 90. The teen tells us the driver of the sports car pulled out a gun and started shooting. He says 7 to 10 bullets went through his car, shooting him in the hand and the leg.
Ignore him as best you can, and not engage into any conversation with him.
San Antonio police still searching for the driver. They're saying that suspect driving a Dodge Challenger. For now, the victim says he will need surgery on his hand. Former President Donald Trump preparing to face a federal judge and enter his plea in the Mar-a-Lago records investigation.
Trump's court appearance tomorrow follows a whirlwind weekend of campaigning. And as ABC's Justin Finch reports, Trump told supporters he's not leaving the 2024 presidential race, even if he's convicted.
This morning, security ramping up in downtown Miami. The Secret Service already surveilling near the federal courthouse where former President Donald Trump is set to formally face charges alleging he mishandled classified records and obstructed government efforts to get them back.
You get indicted over nothing. You get indicted over the Presidential Records Act, which they don't even admit. They call it the Espionage Act.
Trump, now the first current or former American president to face federal criminal charges, and to do so while campaigning for another term.
If even half of it is true, then he's toast. It's a very detailed indictment, and it's very, very damning.
Trump insisting he's done nothing wrong and that he will never leave the 2024 race. A new ABC News Ipsos poll finds nearly half of Americans polled think Trump should have been charged in the records probe, and nearly the same number think the charges are politically motivated.
Most Republicans believe that the law is used as a weapon against Donald Trump.
Former President Trump has no one to blame but himself for being federally criminally indicted.
The sweeping 49-page indictment quotes Trump's own words from his 2016 campaign.
I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law.
But the indictment from special counsel Jack Smith alleges Trump refused to return national defense records, with some allegedly found improperly stored in a ballroom, a storage room, and a bathroom at Trump's Florida estate.
Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced.
Trump aide Walt Nauta is also facing indictment in the records probe, and the former president is due in federal court tomorrow. Justin Finch, ABC News, Miami.
Time now 5:07, 77 degrees.
Just ahead, why Twitter is refusing to pay its Google Cloud contract.
Plus, a local nonprofit helping people with different abilities.
It's about allowing people to be who they are and show all that they can be.
Up next, how community volunteers are turning those dreams into reality.
And of course, one of the talks of the morning, the heat. Above average for sure. Are we going to see triple digits today? Officially? We're going to check in with Mike Osterhage in just a few moments. Good morning and welcome back. A local nonprofit spreading the message of healing and hope through the power of music.
The organization Dreams Fulfilled Through Music held its yearly fundraiser this past weekend. The organizer told our Lee Waldman their mission is to help people of all different abilities turn their dreams into reality.
It'll get your toes tapping and hands clapping.
Made me happy, regardless my physical condition.
The polka tunes of award-winning band Mike and the Middletones spread through the Magic Theater.
On the weekends, I'm doing this. I'm kind of a weekend warrior accordion player.
In his regular 9 to 5, Dr. Mike Middleton is the head of nuclear medicine at Baylor Scott and White in Temple.
No one ever really thanks me for injecting them with radioactive substances, but they do happen to thank me when I play some music that makes them happy.
Different kind of healing than he does in a hospital setting. That's the mission of Dreams Fulfilled Through Music, a nonprofit started by Mary Catherine Archuleta and her daughter Catherine in 2005. Catherine was hurt her senior year of high school and now has trouble walking. As a person living with disabilities, she knows the importance of being told you can rather than you can't.
Sometimes we need to be able to feel like, hey, we're useful too. We are able to give back to our community the same way others can't.
Over the past 18 years, Dreams Fulfilled Through Music has helped over 900 people of all ages and abilities learn music and share their talents across the country. They've seen how transformative it can be.
Some of them will come in completely nonverbal, then 2 or 3 years later, they're singing songs.
Greg Villani is on the Dreams board. His grandson is autistic. Being a part of this organization, he says he has a new appreciation for the work being done.
It's about allowing people to be who they are and show all that they can be. And I think that's what Dreams does.
And that was Lee Waldman reporting. The concert is Dreams Fulfilled Through Music's big fundraiser, but there are other ways that you can step up, help out, and keep their mission alive.
We have a link on our website at ksat.com. Just click on the story, and then we'll check it out.
Yeah, it's an awesome story. Time now, just about 5:14, 77 degrees.
Coming up next, Microsoft brings AI voice chat to being on desktop.
This is getting a little too fishy for me. All right, if you've been holding out on getting a new Xbox, up next, a new version coming out soon. We're going to tell you when, and of course, the most pertinent fact, how much is it going to cost?
Your house is lovely.
Thank you. I need to introduce you to someone. He was telling me how Geico makes it easy to save on homeowners insurance, so I was thinking...
Will.
Hello, old friend.
So you have met?
Years ago, we both had big dreams about saving people money on their homeowners insurance.
Yeah, just look at us now.
Your house is lovely.
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay, nobody heard you.
Okay.
I did hear you.
Geico makes it easy to save on homeowners insurance.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive contains ALA to relieve nerve aches and B complex vitamins to fortify healthy nerves. Try Nervive and try Nervive pain relieving roll-on.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
Welcome back. Twitter reportedly refusing to pay its Google Cloud bill. We're going to explain why. Andrew Dimbert has all the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a financial spat between Twitter and Google. According to Platformer News, the social media company refuses to pay its Google Cloud bill. The $1 billion contract is up for renewal this month. The dispute may lead to some Twitter safety services going offline. Microsoft is bringing Bing voice mode to its Edge browser on desktops. Users just select the microphone button on Bing's chat box and ask questions out loud. And yes, Bing has its own voice to respond. 5 languages, including English, can be used, but Microsoft says others are on the way. And finally, also from Microsoft, a new black version of the Xbox Series S game console. It has increased storage capacity of 1 terabyte. Pre-orders are being taken right now. It'll be launched on September 1st for just about $350. A new color there. Xbox has really turned it around since the 360. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Are we gonna
golf clap.
Yeah.
Golf clap and a half.
Okay, I like that. All right. So it's hot out there, but it hasn't affected traffic yet.
No, not at all. And Mike, we were just talking about the big change. Your commute to work was a lot shorter, so that was nice.
Well, I mean, I did have to detour, but that's okay.
For now.
Yeah.
They were paving St. Mary's.
Right, which is great. And you mentioned for all those businesses out there.
Yes.
Fantastic. So good for you. Progress?
Because, yeah, I think that project's taken about 25 years or something.
Feels that way,
It
right?
does.
And you know what? There's a lot more construction happening in and around town. We're going to get to that in just a moment, but let's talk about what's happening here outside on 281 at Bassey. Not a whole lot, which is great. There, 281 at the airport, you can see traffic is moving along without any trouble, but we're keeping a close eye on things as the morning commute does get rolling. Getting you to our map, it's a lot of the same story that we see around this hour. Just plenty of that construction, so we know that we're seeing some progress there in St. Mary's, but we do want to mention the work that's taking place also here at I-10 in Guadalupe County, barrier work. Now, this work will start overnight, so I really want to give people a heads up ahead of time. Starts at 9 in the evening and should wrap around 5 in the morning. Now, here's what we're going to see out there. This is going to impact anyone's commute if you're traveling along the westbound lanes, especially the main lanes, because there'll be a closure right there at Santa Clara Road. And remember, last week, we saw a pretty big backup out there for quite some time. So just remember to keep this in mind before your commute does get moving this morning. 37 at Southeast Military as we get one last look around town. Things seem to be okay. We're going to keep a close eye on things throughout the morning, but I know my buddy Mike Osterhage, again, shorter commute, but still some detours out there at St. Mary's, but good progress.
Yes, indeed. Finally. All right, yesterday, sunrise at Woodlawn Lake was absolutely spectacular. This is what this morning's is going to look like, but we do have a lot of clouds out there, which is a good thing. Now, it's obviously kind of holding the heat in, if you will, and that's why temperatures are staying in the upper 70s right now. But also, if these clouds do decide to stick around a little bit longer, which there are some indications that they'll stick around through late morning, then again, that sort of delays the heating process. So that'll hope to keep us down at least a couple of degrees later on this afternoon. Still, it's going to be outrageously hot, though. 75 right now, Bulverde, 78 out there at the airport, Castroville at 79, and the dew point temperatures. And this is really, I mean, the problem out there. This is rainforest kind of humidity when you walk outside. Glasses fog up when you have these dew points, 74, 75 degrees. And it will drop somewhat this afternoon, but not a whole heck of a lot, which is why, of course, we get those heat index readings that are way up there. 81 is what it feels like right now, 84 in Castroville. And throughout the rest of the morning, temperatures are going to be staying pretty steady. We'll make it up through the 80s by the rest of the morning. Sun will start to come out by noon, and not to say we won't have a little bit of sunshine earlier this morning, but I'm kind of banking on a few more of those clouds hanging around here throughout the mid-morning hours. Then 97 for a high temperature today. By the way, that is when you talk about averages and normals, that's the hottest average high temperature in the first couple of weeks of August. So this is August kind of weather, and it's going to be even hotter than that later on. This is the computer model that keeps some of those clouds hanging around here through late morning hours. Yes, we will have plenty of sunshine then later on today. Also, this one's trying to pick up a little bit of a disturbance. Now, don't get really excited about this because it's going to stay north of our area with a few showers and thunderstorms. But Storm Prediction Center says one or two of those may be strong, potentially severe, could graze some of our extreme northern counties, but all this is going to be staying, unfortunately, up to the north of us. We're not going to see anything from it. Here's the culprit, that high, which has been pretty much kept at bay up until this point, but this is pretty much in what you would expect a summertime weather pattern with that high starting to build on in here, and it is just going to continue to work its way into our area over the course of the week and then going into the weekend. So that's why it's hot and going to be getting hotter as we go in through time. And by the way, heat advisory goes into effect at 1 o'clock up until 8 for our western and southern counties with those heat index readings that are going to be about 105 to 110. As far as the rest of the week, today we make it up to 97, 98 tomorrow, and then start chalking up some triple digits around here. And that doesn't even include what it will actually feel like. So we're looking at heat index readings across the board, 105, even approaching 110, and especially today and throughout the rest of the week along the Rio Grande Valley. Extremely high heat index readings.
Ouch, triple digits.
Yep.
You know, I like to see triple digits on my report card, but not on the forecast.
Or in my bank account.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
We'll take it there too.
It will be interesting to see if the city steps up and opens cooling centers, because 103, I mean, that's pretty dangerous heat.
I would imagine so, and of course the low temperatures overnight are going to be staying on the warm side, and more heat advisories are likely throughout the rest of the week around the area. So lots and lots of water, and just staying, and again, these are numbers in the shade, not out in the direct sun.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. 523, 77 degrees.
Up next, our film studio is fixing audio issues for the new Spider-Man movie in theaters.
Okay, so you just saw it in theaters. Did you hear the audio issues?
I didn't, it didn't occur to me that it happened. It was really good.
All right, plus we got a story about Ryan Reynolds.
That's right. Let's look at our winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 656, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 6464, Fireball 2.
All right, and up next we have the Cash 5, 6, 12, 23, 29, 31. Lotto text is 3, 12, 15, 17, 36, 37. Powerball, Mike, did you play?
I did win.
Okay, well, he showed up for work today, so that's a good sign. Here are your Powerball numbers if you did play. 21, 32, 42, 46, 50. Powerball 4, Power Play 3. Good luck. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. So the new Spider-Man film, it's dealing with some audio issues.
I didn't notice, but we'll see. Yeah. Here's CNN's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Can't stop me now.
Even audio problems can't stop Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. A Sony Pictures source tells CNN the studio sent out new prints of the film after receiving complaints from audiences at a handful of theaters about sound mixing issues. The source says it's not uncommon to swap out prints if the opportunity presents itself. Despite the problem, Across the Spider-Verse has already surpassed 2018's Into the Spider-Verse in both domestic and worldwide box office. Ryan Reynolds has another action-adventure lined up. He's set to star alongside Kenneth Branagh in Mayday for Apple Original Films and Skydance. Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves writer-directors Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley are on board to do the same on Mayday.
New York City!
Melissa Etheridge is Broadway-bound. The 9-week residency, Melissa Etheridge My Window, will give audiences an evening of storytelling and music from the Grammy and Oscar-winning rocker. The curtain goes up at Circle in the Square Theater September 14th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
So maybe you just got like the new version. You didn't even have the audio problems.
Maybe we got lucky. I don't know. Seems
Also,
fine.
anything Ryan Reynolds is in, I will watch.
Same.
Time now, 5:28, 77 degrees.
The aftermath of a bridge fire in Philadelphia is going to cause some major traffic headaches for a while. Just ahead on GMSA, why drivers there may need an extra audiobook on their commute over the next few months.
And a bear decides to go for a swim in the Gulf of Mexico. He's just like everyone in South Texas.
Trying to cool off.
Exactly, the moment that took a lot of beachgoers by surprise. Chaos in Philadelphia. A fire causes a major roadway collapse. Officials say the city's going to have traffic problems for months to come.
Rebuilding of I-95 is going to be a massive project.
This morning, what's next for the millions of people trying to commute back and forth to work during the week?
And here at home, things are calm for now. Looking out there with live cam, we're at 77 degrees, but Mike is telling us to expect a very hot week.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Mike Osterhage, Stephen Cavazos in the building. Thank you guys for starting the week off right. So, Mike, do you want to start singing your Liz Etheridge? That was fantastic. Melissa. I need him to teach me. This is great.
We need to have you on more.
I know. I'm learning so much.
It's a little early for people to be scared like
it's that. It's a good alarm clock.
It was lovely. It was lovely. I got to witness it firsthand.
Wouldn't that be an annoying alarm clock? So anyway, it's hot out there. We're just trying to avoid talking about the 800-pound gorilla, the elephant in the room, whatever you want to call it. It's hot, and it's going to get hotter. We do have some clouds hanging around here this morning, and that may work in our favor if they decide to hang a little bit longer into the late morning hours. Of course, things clear out very quickly yesterday by mid to late morning, but if these hang around here just a little bit, that's going to trim temperatures a degree or two this afternoon. We'll take anything we can get. 78 right now, but that number is the one that you're really going to notice when you step outside. The dew point, the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, is you get up to 74, and that's the wet blanket, the rainforest, however you want to describe it, fog up your glasses kind of humidity. So that gives us a heat index right now of 81. Same thing, Stinson feels like 84 still at Castroville. And air conditioners just really can't keep up in the afternoon. And that's one of the big problems with this, among other things. And we do have heat advisories going into effect for our western and southern counties throughout the rest of today. Mold is on the low side. Same thing with pigweed. So mostly cloudy, very warm this morning. We are a good 5 degrees, 6 degrees above normal. That's going to be the situation later on today. Mostly sunny skies. The heat index is going to be in the low hundreds, and it's going to be getting hotter with plenty of triple-digit temperatures around much of the area. Triple digits, of course, along the Rio Grande Valley today, and this weekend still on the hot side. Going to be seeing more advisories issued as the week rolls on. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, what's the latest on the road, sir?
Well, Mike, things are actually getting a little bit busier. Some of these shots from TransGuide. Let's get a quick look around town. There's 10 at the upper level near Culebra. Not a bad shot, but as I was taking a look at some of the TransGuide cameras, some commutes are starting to get a little bit more busy. So just be on the lookout there. 10 at Crossroads is not one of them, but you can see the east and westbound lanes are definitely not quiet, but we do have folks out there getting the commute rolling, so we'll keep a close eye on things. getting you to our map, the big topic of the morning, at least for right now, has been a lot of the road work that we are seeing here in the Alamo City and, of course, some of our neighboring communities. You don't see a lot of it impacting traffic, at least at this hour, so that's good news. But we're going to keep an eye on things, especially up here toward Bernie, because we do know that there's a lot of work taking place along I-10 in Kendall County. But none of it seems to be impacting the traffic right now. That journey should be about 25 minutes at this hour. 281 southbound, if you're traveling in from Bulverde, it's a 27-minute commute. And right now, not too awful from New Braunfels along 35 southbound, 26 minutes to the downtown area. Let's get it back here on TransGuide. US 98 Couples, one of the busier spots. You can see it right behind me. A lot of folks are making their way into the Alamo City, likely in the eastbound lanes from 90, so we'll keep a close eye on that area as well. But other than that, morning commute is off to a quiet start. We'll have an update on more road closures coming up a little bit later on. Max.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, not much brotherly love for Philadelphia drivers who are stuck in today's commute.
A section of Interstate 95 in Philadelphia collapsed from a fire yesterday. And today, as CNN's John Lawrence reports, officials say it will be a while before things are back to normal.
People driving in southeast Pennsylvania will need to have a lot of patience and maybe an extra audio book.
At the moment, okay, this is just, a normal bump, a normal little brush fire.
It was anything but a brush fire. On Sunday morning, a tanker truck carrying a petroleum-based product caught fire under the highway on Interstate 95 in Philadelphia, causing part of the bridge to collapse, officials say. Mark Fusetti captured this smoke-filled footage as he drove over the other side of the bridge.
I thought, okay, maybe this is just the construction part. I didn't think for a second that the road under me was collapsing, and that part of the highway will have to be replaced too.
Officials have started putting detours into place.
We're also looking at interim solutions to connect both sides of I-95 to get traffic through the area.
Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney says the fire is under control and in a tweet advised commuters to, quote, plan for alternate routes or modes of travel. Pennsylvania officials say traffic in the area is expected to be affected for months.
The rebuilding of I-95 is going to be a massive project. And until that happens, you are literally going to have millions of people in what is one of the largest population centers in the country impacted in a significant way.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Well, in Connecticut, a man who was paralyzed after he was handcuffed and placed in a police van without a seatbelt last summer, they've reached a $45 million settlement with the city of New Haven. Randy Cox filing the civil lawsuit after the incident last summer. That's when an abrupt stop in the back of the police van caused Cox to be paralyzed from the chest down. According to his attorneys, the settlement is the largest involving a police misconduct case in U.S. history. Just 2 days ago, 2 of the 5 police officers involved in the incident were fired. All 5 officers pleading not guilty, and they're still awaiting trial.
4 children who survived 40 days in the Amazon jungle after their plane crashed are sharing details of their ordeal with their family. They say their mother survived the crash for only days before she died. The kids, now aged 13, 19, 4, and 1, are expected to remain for at least 2 weeks in a hospital receiving treatment after their rescue on Friday. Now, relatives say some are already speaking and want to do more than just lie in bed.
Well, a British man in police custody in South Korea after climbing with his bare hands to the 72nd floor of the world's 5th tallest building. Take a look. South Korean authorities forced this man to abandon his climb when he was just a little more than halfway up the 123-story building. The man was previously arrested in London for climbing a building back in 2019. I get nothing. I don't know why anyone would do that.
I don't know. It looks scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying. When you're 72 floors up, how do they even get him down? They go chase him. They get the helicopter out.
Please come down.
I don't know. You know what? No one got hurt, so it's a good story. Yeah. Time now, 5:39, 77 degrees.
And 6 people are shot outside a nightclub in Houston. Up next, why police say the suspects still have not been found.
And back here at home, you see the triple digits on graphics. We're going to check in with Mike. Hopefully there's a silver lining somewhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This morning, the search for a suspect continues in Houston after a mass shooting over the weekend.
As ABC's Owen Lopez reports, at least 6 people were hurt, 1 in critical condition after a gunman opened fire outside a nightclub.
An urgent manhunt underway. Police trying to find out who shot 6 people overnight outside a Houston nightclub.
Whatever you got going on, whatever beef you have going on with somebody, it makes no sense to fire up into a crowded parking lot. And just make no mistake about it. We're going to find out who did it, and we're going to hold them accountable.
Authorities say it all started with an argument around 2 a.m. inside Taboo Restaurant and Lounge. Then it spilled outside.
They heard about 6 gunshots, people went crazy in the parking lot.
Investigators say a 7th person was injured by broken glass. Authorities say the victims are all in their 20s or 30s. One rushed to the hospital in critical condition.
We expect them to make it. So just prayers out to the family of the one victim who just got out of surgery, and I hope he's going to be all right.
That was ABC's Elwin Lopez reporting. According to the Gun Violence Archives, there's been more than 250 mass shootings just this year.
Houston police are now using surveillance video to track down the suspects.
Time now, 5:43, 77 degrees.
Up next, not so good news for Tesla. Drivers who use their vehicle's autopilot feature.
I have a hot take. I would feel weird if you use the autopilot and like really not control the wheel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have issues with that as well.
Yeah. Oh. So speaking of auto issues, taking a live look out at the roadways. Stephen Cavazos in the room, in the building. We're going to check in with him in just a bit.
Welcome back. It's 5:47. Your morning consumer headlines. Walgreens has reached a $500 million settlement with the state of New Mexico regarding the opioid epidemic. New Mexico says Walgreens failed to red flag prescriptions that weren't needed for medical use and continued to fill them. Albertsons, CVS, Kroger, and Walmart have also paid nearly $300 million in settlement money to the state. New Mexico state officials say the settlement money will be used to fight opioid addiction.
Well, new data from the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration shows that Tesla drivers who use the autopilot feature, well, they were involved in more than 700 crashes since 2019. At least 17 of those crashes deadly. 11 of the deaths happened since just last May. The Tesla CEO, Elon Musk, defending the technology in the past. He says cars operating in autopilot mode are safer when people are driving the car. That makes sense. You have time to read and react. So we've been talking about this morning. He did not comment on the Post's latest findings.
And imagine you're swimming at a beach and all of a sudden there's a bear. That's what happened in Destin, Florida this weekend. A bear was spotted splashing through the waves of the Gulf of Mexico. Beachgoers and near the water at the city of Florida's Panhandle could be seen near the bear as it frolics in the water before running off into nearby sand dunes. Now, a charter boat captain said that it's somewhat common for bears to be seen in the area. I didn't know that, as many live around nearby Elgin Air Force Base. Oh, how cute.
How would you react?
I'd be scared.
Yeah.
I'm saying cute because I'm looking at the video.
Cute. That's fair.
Right, but if it's like kind of, I'm like, what?
Yeah, what's going on? Stephen Cavazos, how would you react?
Yeah, I'm not much of a let's get into the water at the beach. I'm more like I'll sit under the umbrella and enjoy my drink and try to get a good tan. But
what if it wanted to hang out with you next to your umbrella?
Well, we would probably be buddies, hopefully. Well, look, it's a little bit too dark outside to be sitting under an umbrella, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Let's get a quick look around town. There's 10 upper level at Culebra. Things are moving along. No big problems here on the roadways. You can see maybe just a few more folks minute by minute. We're going to start to see a lot more of the commute shape up here, but really not spotted any major problems. I just noticed a crash icon a little bit north of 281 around 1604. I'll get a closer look at that and find out exactly if that's going to impact anyone's drive time. But there's plenty of construction, as I mentioned. We talked about I-10 in Kendall County. This work is expected to continue, all that road work we see out there, but it's going to start tomorrow. So keep this in mind. From 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, we'll see a single westbound main lane closure from State Highway 46 to Scenic Loop Road. Need to adjust that graphic there. But we all know that there is a lot of work happening in and around town. So just head over to ksat.com/traffic for a full list of all the closures. But other than that, things seem to be moving along okay for a Monday morning.
Not bad for a Monday, and the temperature is not bad this morning for a Monday morning, but...
Well, I mean, compared to where it should be, normal, 73, and we're in the upper 70s right now. And the problem has been, it stays so warm at night, and all the humidity around here helps to keep temperatures up. So, yeah, it's just a battle almost 24/7 now as far as...
I love Steph trying to be optimistic, and
you're always
and you're like, no, you're wrong, it's too hot out.
Well, I mean, later it'll be hotter. Right now it's okay.
She is the eternal optimist. Yes. So,
sometimes.
Yes. Thank you. See, and just hearing her makes you feel cooler, right?
Aww.
Having her around, something like that. Anyway, yesterday, yeah, beautiful picture. And I would imagine that would be the sun. Was that the sunset there? It looks like it. We did have a few clouds in places, but we got a lot of clouds hanging around here right now. And again, I've been saying all morning long that the hope is that some of these stick around a little bit later on in the morning to put off the inevitable, which is obviously that big warm up throughout the day. So if we can kind of put off the start of that warm up, or the big warm up, that will help out later on this afternoon. 81 is what it feels like right now when you factor in the humidity. 83 Castroville, same thing at Pleasanton. And these numbers are, add 20, 25 degrees to those numbers. And that's what it's going to feel like later on this afternoon. 77, so we'll stay steady this morning, fluctuate a degree or two. We make it up into the upper 80s at noon. Again, hoping that we keep some of these clouds around to prevent temperatures from starting to skyrocket late morning, but we will make it up into the upper 90s later on this afternoon. That's the average temperature in the first couple of weeks of August. So again, this is August kind of weather around here. But again, you got to factor in the humidity. So heat index readings 105 here in town, and we're looking at 110 on average, or even higher than that, to the west and to the southwest. And that's why the heat advisory has been posted, goes into effect at 1 o'clock from Hondo, Medina County, all the way west, and then heading down 35, heading down 37 in toward the beach. So basically the southwestern third of our viewing area is going to be under a heat advisory, and that's just an example of things to come all week long. Weather Service has indicated it is going to be posting many heat advisories throughout the rest of the week. So here's the computer model that keeps a fair amount of clouds around throughout mid-morning hours, which would help with the, like I said, delaying the start of the big warm up in the morning, but then we get plenty of sunshine in the afternoon. Also, we're going to have to watch out for a couple of thunderstorms. These will stay pretty much well north of our area, unfortunately, but there is the chance that one or two of those could be strong to potentially severe. So just to kind of cover things, Storm Prediction Center has put around Austin, up around Fredericksburg, under the very small chance that one or two of those could be strong to potentially severe. 97 today, 98 tomorrow, and we are looking at hundreds throughout the rest of the week. And that doesn't even take into account, of course, the heat index. So we're looking at heat index readings 105, 110, even hotter than that down to the west and the southwest.
I think for me, the craziest part is you keep emphasizing this. Those are the highs in the shade.
Right. All numbers are, it's the air temperature. You get out in the sun, and then not only you feel the air temperature, but the sun's heating you up. So you know, it'll feel 10, almost 15 degrees hotter than that. So yeah, lots of shade, lots of water.
All right. Be careful.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. 553, 77 degrees.
And your winning lotto numbers: pick 3, 656, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 6464, Fireball 2.
And your cash 5, 6, 12, 23, 29, 31, Lotto Texas, 3, 12, 15, 17, 36, 37. Mike, would you say the Powerball is at over 300 million?
Something like that. Oh. Yeah, it's a lot.
Might be time to play. Taking a look at those numbers: 21, 32, 42, 46, 50. Powerball 4, Power Play 3. Good luck. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we'll have the latest on the collapse of a crucial overpass on I-95. We're right there on the scene, taking a closer look at the damage and the potential impact for the months ahead. And the latest on the indictment of former President Trump. He spent the weekend trying to discredit the special counsel and is set to turn himself in tomorrow in Miami. Our team is covering all of that and so much more right here on GMA.
Suck the life right out of them.
The Boogeyman fell to 5th place on ticket sales of $6.9 million. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 took in $7 million to stay in 4th place. The Little Mermaid sank 1 spot to 3rd place, earning $22.8 million.
Come on, go easy on the kid. He had a terrible teacher. Peter Miles!
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse lost the top spot, but $55.4 million gave the animated sequel a 10-day total of $225 million. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts is the new king of the box office jungle, opening with $60.5 million, a considerably higher debut than the last two films in the franchise. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, big news into the newsroom, a big crash we want to tell you about. Let's see, we're going to pull up TransGuide. Here we go. All right, 281 southbound at Thousand Oaks, big crash. It is closed. We're going to check in with Steven in just a few moments for what you need to know before you head out the door.